Good morning. You're on with Attorney Vince Davis. Did you have a story to tell or a question to ask?
I have a story to tell, Mr. Davis.
Go for it.
Okay. Me and my husband have been trying to get our children back now for over 15 months. Our baby was detained in the hospital in Merced County. We were 5 days from agreeing to Santa Cruz. After our baby was detained, we came to the house and took our other 4 children from my husband and placed them in foster care. After 5 days, we moved to Santa Cruz like we had planned for our new jobs and new home. It took them 4 months to transfer our case, and during that time, we traveled from Santa Cruz to Merced for visits. We have never missed a single visit with our children. Our children have definitely had their rights violated in the system. The whole time, that 4 months, we were never given any services out of Merced County. 7 months. When we moved to Santa Cruz and the case transferred, we started doing our drug testing, our counseling, parenting classes, anything that they threw at us, we did. My husband even did anger management, even though we felt that wasn't, absolutely necessary. We have continued, like you said, we've never missed a visit with our children. We were promised reunification, which they have continued. But we had our 12-month review, and the recommendation was to end services for our youngest 2 children. We have a 14-month-old and a 2-year-old. And they scheduled a settlement conference for us. And at the settlement conference, they changed their recommendation. So we settled, just based on that. My children are in 4 different placements. I have 1 child who is still in Santa Cruz County. I have 3 children in San Benito County, and I have 1 in San Joaquin County. The San Joaquin placement is the closest placement they could find to where we live, and that is still 2 hours away. Since our case was transferred, we have not had visitation. I haven't seen my 9-year-old daughter in over 2 weeks. Haven't talked to her since she moved. And my other children we were not allowed to see this week. So it's been hard, but at least we have the baby home.
May I ask why they took the children initially?
A positive test.
At the time of birth?
Yes.
Okay.
But since that day, we have been clean.
Okay.
Yep.
Number 1, are you well, first of all, let me ask you this. Are you represented by a court-appointed attorney?
Yes.
Okay. Is your husband represented by a court-appointed attorney?
Yes.
Okay. So this is what I think you should do. He should probably consider it as well. You should make a list of 25 names of relatives and friends who could take any or all of the children who live anywhere in the world. So let me repeat that. A list of 25 names. They can be family by blood or marriage, or friends of the family. So name, address, telephone number, email if they have it, and how they're related to the child.
When the kids were first initially taken, we did come up with a list of people, and Merced didn't do anything to place them, but Santa Cruz did.
I'm having this conversation more and more with clients, and maybe it's because I'm becoming more and more aware of communication between people. So my advice to you, and maybe I want you to listen to this carefully. I want you to make a list of 25 people who could, not would, could take care of some or all of your children. They can live in your county, in the state of California, in the United States or in a foreign country. Now, interestingly enough, for most people to do this, it would take a couple of hours to do that. It takes work and time. And so you haven't done that, and I'm telling you to do that, and you're telling me why that's not going to work. There's a few strategies in making that list that you don't have any idea about. Let me tell you a story. I once represented a lady in a CPS court. Okay, it was actually in San Bernardino County. They had taken away her kids because of drugs. She gave me a list of people who could take the children, except for most of the people lived outside the county of San Bernardino. She had even her parents fly from Venezuela to San Bernardino County to show up and take the kids. Now, I go to court, and we're arguing about placement with relatives or friends outside the county of San Bernardino. I left the courthouse with my client getting back all her children. And it is my opinion that the kids were released back to my client is because she lives inside the county of San Bernardino. You see, all the federal money follows the children. So San Bernardino, this is a money-making opportunity for the counties. They don't want kids leaving the county, because when the kids leave the county, the money leaves too. All right, and the other thing is the social worker kind of loses control of the case because it's supervised by a social worker in the other county, state, or country. So when I tell you a strategy, it's not what you think. This strategy that I'm telling you has very multi-levels to it. I once did this in Riverside County. You know what the judge told me?
You were harassing CPS?
Yes, that's what he told me on the record. Oh, you're just harassing CPS. And I said, respectfully, Your Honor, I'm just asking them to do their job according to Welfare and Institutions Code Section 309. You should read that code section. Google it and read it. Welfare and Institutions Code Section 309. You'll be shocked at what it says, because generally CPS doesn't do that. Now, sometimes they do comply with the law, don't get me wrong, but in a lot of cases, people come to me with, a hard and difficult cases. That hasn't been done. And you're telling me Merced County never did it. So do the strategy. Don't try to figure out why I'm telling you stuff to do, because it's multi-level. It's multi-dimensional. Make the list.
Okay, I trust you.
Make the list. Remember I said family or friends. Now I know you as a human being know 25 people that could take care of the kids. I'm not telling you to call them and ask them. That's the social worker's job. You know what happens when I give 25 names to most social workers? They all of a sudden want to give the kids to that relative who they denied at first. Because that means, do you know how hard it is to investigate one person to see if they can take care of the kids? Now multiply that by 25. Multiply it by 50 if the father does it. Multiply it by 75 if there's another father on the case. Do you get the picture?
Yes.
Most social workers don't want to do this because it's a lot of work. In that case in San Bernardino, it was just easy enough for them to give the kids back to the mother. instead of investigate people, and especially, do international ICPC. That's a lot of paperwork. The second
I'm
thing.
meeting with our social worker.
Okay, hold on. So my general advice is never meet with a social worker, never meet with a police officer. See, people
They want to
believe.
go over the case plan.
What do you need to go over the case plan for? You know what it is.
I do. My lawyer was a little upset last week when I didn't let them in, the 3 social workers that showed up in my house to go over the case plan when my husband wasn't here. I absolutely know to stay away from them. Then she called me and harassed me about my pregnancy. So they definitely have the fear.
Right. Well, they wanted to take that child because that's just more money for them. There's no reason to take the child.
Absolutely, yeah.
They actually have to prove another case as it stands right now to take the child away from you. They probably don't even have the evidence to take the child from you, and you were just hoping that you'd turn the child over. I'm saying don't ever talk to social workers or police unless your attorney's there or on the phone with you. Get it? Okay? So ask your attorney to be present. Now, there are many different strategies that attorneys have in dealing with CPS cases. Okay? I'm not one of those attorneys that like to just necessarily cooperate. Now, don't get me wrong, I cooperate sometimes when it's beneficial to my client. But sometimes when it's a setup, and I know it's a setup, I advise my clients don't do it. Don't talk to social workers unless I'm present. I have a lot of meetings with social workers and their attorneys with my client so that we all can be there, we all can understand what's going on, and we can all, work something out. But you should talk to your attorney about being there when you have that meeting.